Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
Welcome back to the second episode of Racing with Celebs, the program designed especially for all you racing enthusiasts out there. After kicking off last week with the third season of this exciting show, we can't wait to drive you through the rest of the season as we interview and race with some of the most famous South Africans. Now, as per normal, let's kick off with the word of today. Apex, the part of a corner where the racing line is nearest to the inside of the bend. My name is Donovan Clyde, and today we will give you our best to stay in our lane. So sit back and relax, kick off your shoes and enjoy the race with us. Today the action takes place at the Varkfontein MX Track. Finally, what started out as a dream has become a reality. An MX riding destination designed for both novice and experienced riders, junior and senior tracks, and all ages, all levels are welcome. Joining us here today is no one else but South African TV star Altus Theart. This guy has portrayed many roles on TV. And today, we will see if his acting skills is of any use on a bike. Altus Theart received his National Diploma in Drama in 2006 from the Tshwane University of Technology, where he specialized in theatre, singing and directing. During his studies, he starred in numerous stage productions, which included A Midsummer Night's Dream, The Crucible, and the Car production of Skimmerspel. Altus also starred in the eminent edit short film Bloedrooi and Spaarwiel, as well as a couple of music videos. Time to cross over to Johan for more on the track.
Thank you, Donovan. It's such a pleasure to have Altus Theart on our show today. I can't wait to have a chat to him and hear his thoughts on racing today. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Johan, and together with Donovan, we'll be putting our celebrities through their paces today. This is very exciting for today as the action takes place at the Varkfontein MX Track just outside of Benoni. Let's go and find out what the track has in store for us. The Varkfontein MX Track is situated in Benoni and opened to the public in October 2018. The MX Track and flat tracks were designed and built by the owner Konrad Skutte. The flat track is 1.8 kilometers and the drivers can enjoy the speed and flow of the track. Now that we know more about the Varkfontein MX Track, it's time to introduce you to our celebrity, Altus Theart. Altus, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's an honor for us to have you on the show.
Who's this? Am I the celeb?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Absolutely.
okay. Oh lekker, okay. That's good to know.
Have you ever done something like motocross before?
Yeah, I've done it. We've done a couple of those. I don't know if you guys know about that quads for quads trip. The one from Joburg to Durban. So we've done that about 5 or 6 times. So that's also always a jolt. But yeah, never competed. But yeah, done the dirt bikes a couple of times, and yeah, it still remains a massive rush, and it's like a drug. You need to do it more often than not.
Yes. And your expectations for today?
If you're not first, you're last. So we're gonna go out full blast, and I think there's a couple of youngsters that's gonna be behind me. Noted behind me. So yeah, let's go out and get to that checkered flag. Well, in theory.
Nervous in any way?
Little bit, yeah. It's been a while. Obviously, COVID kind of messed everything up. So it's been a while since I've been on one of these babies. But yeah, hopefully it's like muscle memory, and hopefully, like Celine Dion says, it's all coming back to me now. So hopefully it'll come back.
Come back quickly as well.
Come back quickly, yeah.
Well, Altus, to make sure you are safe at all times, it's time for our safety brief.
Let's do it.
Stay buckled in your seat as we take Altus Theart around Varkfontein MX Track.
Mzansi, new spectacular singles brought to you by Roman's Pizza. Zihamba ngama 1-1. One single large margarita, only $63.90. One single large pepperoni deluxe, only $74.90. One single large 4-in-1, only $94.90. One single large sweet chili chicken, only $98.90. Nizwile. Order online at romanspizza.co.za. We deliver or you collect. Roman's Pizza, best value.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us then for this edition of Racing with Celebs, we're today with Altus Theart at the Varkfontein Motocross Track, and he is ready to go out on circuit to compete in a race with some professional motocross racers. You can see them all lined up on the grid, ready to get this one underway. A mixture of two-stroke and four-stroke motorcycles as the lights go out, and we go racing again then. So coming down in towards the first corner, you can see the dust being kicked up here. It's a very dry day. Looks like it's Brandon Rush on the 273, just ahead of Trey Moser in second position. There is Brandon Rush leading the way ahead of Trey. Nathan Kuhn closely holding on to third position ahead of Sheldon Vosloo. Then Nathan Swart. Altus Theart bringing up the rear at the moment as we now clip on board with the South African. So coming through the right-hander, you can just see the lack of visibility. Of course, his eye line is a little bit higher than what we can see out there on track at the moment, but nonetheless, the dust being kicked up here at this Varkfontein Motocross Track certainly being a big challenge for the riders to contend with. You can see Jordan Kelly there on the 717, just ahead of Vincent Swart, then Altus Theart on the number 420 here. Really tricky conditions out there to be riding, and this of course is a very unique challenge here for Altus as well. He's used to riding bikes, has a bit of a passion for them on the side of his usual project, but of course it's very different being under racing conditions, and especially with a load of professional riders out there on track, and fitness levels are certainly going to be tested to the limit. Clipping through the dust, Jordan Kelly comes through on the 717 ahead of Vincent Swart on the 326. Here is Altus Theart on the 420, bring up the rear. Oh, bit of a moment, slip on the front, slip on the rear, and it looks like he stalled the bike there as well. He's going to have to get that going, and these bikes are certainly not easy to get going at all once they've been hot. It's a kickstart procedure on these motocross bikes, and you can see there as we look on board with him having some troubles getting the bike back underway. So here is Altus then, as we said, does this in his spare time, but certainly not in terms of what he does on a day-to-day basis. Best known, of course, for being an actor, a singer, and a voice artist, starring in roles such as Hank Ledman in Crucible and Vafa Beltrame in Giroud Met Rugby. Here then is Altus, quite a way back from the rest of the field now, but doing a really good job actually of just staying on board, I think, is the crucial thing here. It's not easy at all to be here under these conditions. Trey Moser just coming through the dust as we look through him on the 123. There's your race leader, Brandon Rush, on the 273. He's dominated proceedings so far then out on track here. And coming through the left-hander now to complete another lap then here at the Varkfontein circuit. Here's Sheldon Vosloo on the 118, sticking his leg out going through there. Very familiar riding style if you're used to watching motocross. Maybe you're a fan of supercross in America or something along the lines of that. Here then is Altus. We cross back to him once again, bringing up the back of the field in P7. But as we said, just keeping on board on these machines is certainly not an easy task. And you can see just how hard he's having to work. He is going to be exhausted at the end of this one. It's very difficult to tell from this activity of just how exhaustive motocross can be as a sport, and well, he is going to be pushing his body to the limits. Here we are on board with Vincent Swart on the 326. He's currently sitting P5 at the moment as we come through the left-hander, and goes down there as well. Looks like he's lost the front, and it looks like he could be a little bit hurt here there for Vincent Swart as well. Hopefully he's just a bit winded. Altus Theart there on the 420 stopping to make sure that his compatriot is okay. Meanwhile, Brandon Rush still leading the way. Very commandingly so far, as we've said, throughout the entirety then of this race. Here then is Altus now inheriting P6. We ride on board with him looking back, and you can see how bumpy it is really. This camera angle doing a really good job of just showing the ruts in this motocross circuit. It's very, very dry, very hot here as well, and not particularly windy, so that dust is settling quite a lot, and you can see Altus there. Looks like he's going to come under a bit of pressure, potentially from the race leader, who's ready and set to lap him there. Doesn't look like the number 273 is ready to come up and get past him. There is Brandon Rush. Where is he going to find that opportunity then? Going for the inside line. Look over the shoulder there from Altus. Doesn't hold up too much there. You can see the back being kicked out there from Brandon as he comes through into the long right-hander which follows. So coming through then into the left here for Brandon Rush, and fantastic job he's done, as well as Altus Theart. And just getting back on the power there. Of course, the thing is, coming towards the end of this race is arguably when he's going to be at his best, because he'll have more experience of what it's like to be out on the track, more experience with the motorcycle as well. Believe from the sounds of it that it looks like Altus is on a 4-stroke motorcycle, whereas you can see the likes of Nathan Kuhn here is also on a 4-stroke bike, but we've seen other competitors who are out on 2 strokes. You can see that the easiest way to tell the difference between the two is, one, the engine note. A 4-stroke, as we hear here, a lot deeper in terms of the engine note, whereas a 2-stroke really does rev a lot higher, and you can hear that it sounds a lot different in terms of the engine note. It also has a bigger exhaust pipe at the front as well. There is Altus just coming through in P6. Interesting, the difference between, of course, a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke engine. 2-stroke has a very much more harsh power band, as it were, and is therefore a little bit more difficult to ride on the limit, but ultimately can produce more power and arguably is more fun to ride. Now here is Altus stopping on track. Now what's he doing here? Let's see what he's doing. Is he taking a bit of a shortcut? He's just coming off to the side of the circuit, so he's stopped. Now let's see what's going on. Trying to piece together exactly what's happened. Maybe he's having some more technical problems with his bike. Checker flag on standby now, by the way. We're looking at Sheldon Vosloo on the 118, who's sitting in P4 as it stands, just going for the wider outside line through this left-hander, kicking up a bit of dust through there as well. Bit of a rear-end switch as he comes through. There is the checkered flag then out. That brings an end to the race. Brandon Rush takes the flag ahead of Trey Moser in second position and Nathan Kuhn in P3. Sheldon Vosloo, Jordan Kelly, Altus Theart finishing in P6. Vincent Swart with that fall, of course, we saw he finishes down in 7th position. Let's get ready to get the next race then underway. Who is going to lead the way? Ahead looks like it's not a bad start again from our race 1 winner of Brandon Rush. Keep an eye out as well for the field as they come barreling through that first corner. Somebody's out well wide into T1 though. Not quite sure who that was as we come through into the next following corners. Looks like it's the number 7 that's leading the way at the moment, and indeed it is as they all come barreling their way through. This, of course, is the trickiest time to be in and amongst the pack because vision is going to be at a premium. And you can see there that Brandon Rush now leads the way ahead of Nathan Kuhn in second position on board the number 7. And then Trey Moser on the 1-2-3 now inherits 3rd position. Where is Altus though? Is he the rider that went wide at that first corner? Perhaps it was quite difficult to tell from the camera angle that we saw. Can't see him battling in and amongst this sharp end of the field. Now Brandon Rush leading the way and bringing out quite an advantage over the rest of the field. Now here is Altus Theart on board the number 420. Oh, and he's being cut up there as well. Another rider, that's Jordan Kelly in P5, Altus Theart now in P6, so it wasn't Altus that looks like it went wide at the first corner. Somebody certainly did though. There though is Brandon Rush leading the way from Nathan Kuhn, from Trey Moser. On board the 1-2-3, keeping Kuhn honest there as they come through into the left-hander. Very honest indeed and very close. Is Moser going to be able to find a way past Kuhn at the moment? Let's see whether he's able to find a way past. We ride on board with the number 7 sitting in second position, and he's coming under all sorts of pressure here. We can see just how difficult it is to keep on the limit, and he's actually managed to gap Trey Moser there, so not quite sure whether the 1-2-3 has made a mistake on that last lap, but either way he is going to have a bit more time to make up now before he can try and battle for second position in this race then. Through into the left-hander, these riders go there. Sheldon Vosloo just coming through your picture now on the 1-1-8. He's in P4 at the moment. Finished 4th place, of course, in race 1, as we know. And he's doing a good job out there on track here so far. There's Jordan Kelly on the 717. Altus Theart doing a good job of keeping a bit closer than to Jordan this time around. Taking that wider outside line. And it'll be good here for Altus actually as well, because he can follow Jordan a little bit more and get an idea of the lines, get an idea of where he's braking, where he's accelerating. Of course, if you're used to watching perhaps motorcycle road racing, other championships, of course, like World Superbikes, MotoGP, etc. Completely different discipline, really. They're almost two different sports, motocross and road racing. Very, very different styles. Road racing is all about keeping momentum, corner speed, and so on. Here in motocross, it's a very, very different kettle of fish. It's all about keeping it on the straight and narrow, getting good traction out of the corners, and not carrying too much speed in, because it's so easy to lose the front or the rear, as we've seen. We saw that, of course, in race 1 with Vincent Svarts. No such problems here for him so far, and no such problems as well for Brendan Rush on the 2.73, still leading the way very commandingly indeed as he comes through. Look at the gap then between himself, Nathan Kuhn, and then Trey Moser in P2 and P3 as it stands. Coming through the left-hander there, you can see Kuhn is having a bit of a front-end wobble going through there, sticking his leg out and just getting caught in one of those ruts. Of course, as we have more track action here at this circuit, it is going to get a little bit more difficult for these riders to contend with, because of course those ruts will become more prominent as the dirt gets shifted around underneath those tyres. So coming through then into the left-hander, you can see Moser is closer than he's been. Sounds like a 2-stroke versus 4-stroke battle we've got going on there as well. The difference in engine notes, as we can tell. And Kuhn looking very much on the back foot here. Is Moser going to think about having a move? Not quite into that left-hander. They're going to flick it right, though, in a few moments. Maybe this will be the opportunity that Trey Moser has been looking for, but no such luck then on this occasion. It's all a case of when you decide to strike. And it looks like a case of when and not if, rather, for Moser on Kuhn versus this battle at the moment. Coming through the long left-hander, looking very close between them. Brendan Rush still leads the way then. Doing a very good job out there on track. You can see him there just getting a little bit squirrely coming out of that corner, but managing to gather it up. All okay. And then this battle continues on for second position. Altus doing a good job then, sitting in 6th position as it stands in this race. As you said, a very well-distinguished actor. Here is Altus then on board the number 420. Lots of different roles that he has had in various different things. And you can see a moment there as he has gone down on the number 420. So Altus, sadly, bins it and has a second moment in his second race then. Deary me. Well, Altus with some work to do then out on track, and to keep himself on the straight and narrow. That does mean he's going to drop down then by the looks of things into P7. Somebody else having some strife by the looks of things on the outer side of the track. I wonder whether that's just Altus getting things gathered up. Here then is Nathan Kuhn still versus Trey Moser for P2 and P3. And wide line there for Moser as he comes through that left-hander. Kuhn just keeping it tighter, keeping that position there crucially as well in P2. Over into the left-hander. They're going to flick it right once again. This, of course, is an opportunist place to find your way past, but no such luck there for Trey Moser. This is a great scrap that has gone on all race long. The race leader having had no such dramas. He's managed to control this one from start to finish. And a shame for Altus' crash that he had just a few moments ago, sadly. I'll put pay to otherwise a very promising race. Here he is now then in P7, sadly having lost a position. Disappointing there for Altus. Well, he's used to singing his way on the stage, and he'll be singing his way to 7th position, and it's not anything to be shouting too loudly about, unfortunately. But as we said, a very good job just to stay on the straight and narrow in the same race as these professional riders. Motocross is just so difficult to comprehend, really, what it's like. Meanwhile, here is Jordan Kelly in P5. A quiet race here for Kelly so far. We haven't really mentioned too much of him, but he's having a bit of a lonely one out there. As we said, in 5th position at the moment. Here's Vincent Svart, of course. We saw him having those dramas in the first race, keeping it on the straight and narrow in this second one. Not an ideal finishing position for him, given his pace in that first one. And here is Altus Theart as well, sitting in P7, just going through that left-hander, kicking up some dust, just coming under a bit of pressure there from Brendan Rush. The race leader going to lap him once again. Going towards the closing stages then here of this race, and Brendan Rush, I should say, leading the way, and now having lapped 7th position of Altus Theart as they come through into that right-hander. He won't be far off Vincent Svart there as well. As you can see, Svart just going through your shots, closely followed by Brendan Pash. And then here comes Altus in P7 as it stands through that long left-hander. Of course, if you fancy getting yourself involved in motorsport in South Africa, well, there are plenty of opportunities to do so, and maybe the Varkfontein MX Track is the place for you to do that. Here then is Altus coming in a bit more pressure from the front runners. Just going to have to keep an eye on what's going on behind him. He's aware of that. Trey Moser coming through, who's now managed to get himself up into second position then ahead of Nathan Kuhn then. So Moser into second place, Kuhn into P3. Here then is Brendan Rush coming through. And what a race it has been for Brendan. Once again, it's going to be 2 from 2 here. If it stays as it is. In South Africa, he comes over the line to take the checkered flag. So it's Rush, Moser, Kuhn, Vosloo, Kelly, Svart, and Altus Theart rounds out 7th position in race number 2.
Once you're out there, you kind of realize your body kind of loses the whole vibe if you don't do it every now and again. But it was great fun, and yeah, it was very dusty, as you can see. This is the full makeup for flat track racing. But yeah, awesome experience.
The track was rough, very dry. Race went well, got a bit tired towards the end. A little unfit, but it was quite enjoyable nonetheless.
Join us after the break as we take a look into the life of Altus Theart.
Welcome back. Altus, where did it all start for you?
Where did it all start? I think it started with those plastic scooters, those kick ones. I think that was the first time for me getting onto a bike, and yeah, it's been part of my life. I think since then. But yeah, when it got to a point where I can actually physically start riding and getting my own bike, then my parents said my personality and bikes don't gel too lacquer together. So I had to put that on hold for a while. But yeah, I think it's probably about 10 odd years now since I got my first bike, and got on the bike and never got off and never want to get off. It's like a heartbeat. It's part of your DNA.
Yes.
And not if a day goes by that you don't ride, you kind of feel something's missing.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much where it started.
You've been part of Getroud met Rugby now for I think 11 years. Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, it's been a massive journey. Obviously, we started back in the day with the series. It was like 13 episodes every second year, pretty much. And back in the day, obviously my character was like the bad boy. Girls want to be with him, guys want to be him, and obviously evolved over 12 years. And it's every day still a new challenge. And obviously the writers do a very good job with the script and keeps it entertaining and keeps it keeps you on your toes. So. Yeah, I still enjoy it, and hopefully we can still continue for another 10 years.
Yeah, no, that will be fantastic.
We'll be lucky.
If you've got a message for young up-and-coming actresses, actors, what will your message be to them?
I think the main thing is, my journey was after school. I just had to decide: do I want to make it or keep it a hobby, or make a living out of it? And I think that's a big kind of point we need to get. If you just want to do it for the fame and the fortune, then you're in the complete wrong industry. So if it's your passion, even if you don't get paid for it and you still love what you do, I think that might kind of be your benchmarks. If you can see yourself doing it without getting paid and you still love what you do, then obviously do go and study, do a course, whatever, and I think just absorb from different people, and once again absorb the positivity, leave the negativity, and if it's your passion, you will definitely make a success of it, because we had a lot of people. How can I be as famous as you? And it's not about the fame, it's my passion. I love what I do.
Absolutely.
And if you follow your passion, you will never work a day in your life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Altus, thank you for your time today.
Lekker.
We've enjoyed it, and I hope you too.
Lekker.
Donovan, take us home.
Next week on Racing with Celebs. Catch all the action on Ignition TV, DSTV channel 189.
What an exciting episode it was. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Racing with Celebs. For more information on the series or our sponsors, please visit our Facebook page, Racing with Celebs, or download our mobile app, Racing with Celebs, from the Google Play Store or the Apple iStore. Till next time, keep it safe. Asja.